Hello and welcome to another Schwarzenegger time. It's time for crime and punishment.
Ha ha ha.
I'm Justin, and are you okay?
Yeah.
Now let's start with 1993's Last Action Hero, directed by John McTiernan and with a screenplay by Shane Black.
Da 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 da.
So, since not a fan of the movie, why don't you explain? And I'm just curious, do you have the Midas touch or the golden ticket?
I don't, but Danny does. Okay. So anyway, it's about this what was he, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, junior high, whatever. This young man was a huge Jack Slater fan. And he was always going to the same movie house that this older gentleman was going to show the latest movie of Jack Slater. What was it, 4, 5,
Jack
something?
Slater 4.
Okay.
That Schwarzenegger uh produced, starred, and directed in. He only killed 98 people, as opposed to the previous film when he killed 114.
Yes. So he was getting nicer.
It was out of this world. It was off the charts. It was off out of the planet, like Planet Hollywood.
Yeah. That's when Maria's like, okay, excuse us, we need to go. He wasn't supposed to talk about any restaurants or whatever, and he did anyway at his own premiere. So, anyway, so the theater owner, was going to show a midnight screening preview of Jack Slater number 4, but it was going to be at midnight. So Danny's mom had to go to work, and she instructed him not to leave, don't answer the door, keep all the locks locked. So what does Danny? He wants to sneak out, and then this guy goes into the apartment, and he's very disappointed because they had no TVs, no jewelry, nothing. They were kind of
They had a TV, but it was small.
black and white. Yeah.
It was a it was fit for the small screen.
Yep. It was a small apartment, a small screen TV. So then he ended up at the police station trying to give a description of the guy or whatever. Then the cops said, go straight home, lock all the doors, wait for your mom to get home from work. But what does he do instead? He goes to the movie theater. And the movie theater owner wants to make it a special premiere.
You already said that.
Yes. And he said, Danny, you have to have the golden ticket. It was a ticket from Houdini, which he had met.
It's good if you believe in magic.
Yep. So he gave him the ticket. He ripped it in half, and of course, half goes into the bin. And then you keep the stub. So he goes in, and the movie starts. And then something unusual happens with the ticket. He's like waving it and all this, and it's like sparks and it's got electricity. And all of a sudden, he went through the screen and ended up in guess whose car.
Jack Slater's.
And Jack Slater said to him, kid, how'd you get here?
That's a terrible impression.
I know.
And I'm speaking from my impression.
Yes. So he didn't know it at first, but then he figured it out. He was in the movie. I think he figured it out. Did he figure it out in the car or the police station? Where people wore all different things. Leather.
Probably in the car.
In the car. Oh, because they were going to play chicken. And you know what happens in the movies when you play chicken. It doesn't always happen in real life, but in the movies.
Wait, are you talking about the movie or are you talking about the movie?
Talking about him being in the movie.
So are you talking about the movie or are you talking about the movie?
The movie.
Which one?
The movie.
The one where he played chicken or the movie where or in the movie when he played chicken?
In the movie when he played chicken, where he couldn't die.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Keep going.
Okay.
You're not
So,
giving me good puns.
so you're gonna like this part. So they go to the police station after they catch the guy, and guess who? Schwarzenegger starts with a cigar, and his boss starts doing what? Yelling.
He's basically the infamous black chief of police. Well, here, I'll do a mild reenactment. Dang it, Kay! They've been chewing my butt out. That's the last time this is gonna happen. You know what? Give me your 5 more times and give me your gun and your badge. You know what? You have to pay for this. You have to pay $10 million. You have to pay $20 million. You've caused $40 million in damages just by me saying this. Just by me saying these few sentences.
Talk to the hand.
You've caused $10 million worth of damage, Kay. Give me your gun and your badge. God dang it, you're fired.
Have it.
You know, kind of like that.
He was a yeller. Let's put it that way. So then there was a dispatch
It was
guy
like
up there.
Ice Cube in the 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Then there was a dispatcher that was saying, "Hey, Rabbi, you're with this guy tonight." "Oh, come on, not again." "Hey, waitress, you're with this lady." "Oh, jeez."
Here, you're with this cartoon fox. Wasn't one of them Humphrey Bogart or a black and white actor?
I don't know. But anyway,
Charlie Chaplin?
it was really kind of weird
Meta.
because they were like he was partnering people up that were really different. Really different. If they were going undercover, I could understand.
It's the cliche of action movies.
Mm.
Roger Ebert calls it a one's-a movie, like Cop and a Half. One's a cop, one's a kid.
So
Except
anyway,
that cop was Burt Reynolds.
okay. So anyway, they got paired together. Jack Slater got paired with the kid. And the kid knew what was going to happen. So he was able to tell the chief and Slater what had happened previously. And then, oh, you're making me yawn.
He knew the eye of the tiger.
The backstory. Who talked to who?
What?
Yeah, he knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
He knew their history. He knew who talked to who.
They got to kick some glass.
No, actually, he punched glass, didn't he? But anyway, so there was this.
It's a pun.
Okay. So there was this mobster that was going to have a funeral on top of this building. So Slater was not supposed to be anywhere near it.
So you're skipping his daughter
His daughter.
or niece.
Whose daughter or niece?
Slater's.
Well, he was married before. Remember, he paid that one waitress.
The blonde girl that was new in the series. Introducing.
Oh, yeah. She was in the series. Yeah.
No, she wasn't. This was her first movie. You remember? It said, and introducing.
Yes. On the movie theater screen thingy poster.
Should we rewatch the movie so you can remember?
No.
It's better than The Company.
Yes.
Keep talking.
Oh, you keep making me yawn. So anyway, he goes back to his place, and his daughter is there, and she was following in his footsteps and had a gun and all this other, and then she kissed the boy Danny, and he was like, ah. So
This is before he gets, before he becomes an adult, when he gets pimples and premature ejaculation.
I'm so glad you said that. That gets said in the movie later.
Actually, it got said in the movie earlier when he was talking about you've got your whole life ahead of you. You've got,
Oh, okay.
and it was also said later.
I did kind of fall asleep in the first half of the movie.
By first half, she means first hour and a half.
Yeah, it was kind of slow pace, they were trying to make it fun, but I don't know.
Hey, you bought the company.
You can't say I bought it. I don't remember buying it.
You owned it.
But now Goodwill owns it.
Let's continue. So anyway,
Okay, so
Schwarzenegger got the red heat.
they didn't want Jack Slater to go to the funeral, but Jack was figuring out that the other mobster was going to go up there and kill off the one family of mob people, whatever.
But meanwhile, the kid, you know how the kid came in?
Cayman Islands.
He came in like a wrecking ball.
So they're not supposed to go to the funeral. So Jack gives up his badge and his gun, but he's got all these other things.
He
So
had a gun in the glove compartment.
yeah. So then the kid is supposed to help Schwarzenegger get the body. So the kid, yes, is in a wrecking ball, and he's trying to drive this thing to get towards the roof to get the body that they figured out was going to blow up. And if it blew up, it would blow up and kill off the one mob family that was there. And the other guy that ran the other mob was kind of.
But you know what we can say about that plan?
The glass eye shot him.
The plan was the pits.
Smack in the pool.
They were bad to the bones.
But anyway, who was it? The Ripper or something? Oh my god. He was on the roof. That happened after the funeral, right? No, that was before. Remember, he came to get him down and save all the children. His son was up there.
You're now back in the first 5 minutes.
Okay, whatever. Sorry. This movie just kind of put me to sleep. It was not a lot of action the first half.
You know what? I think you'd rather see the Lord Terminator. I'll be back. Come with me if you want to live.
Okay, whatever. So,
Come on, keep
okay.
talking about the movie.
So after the funeral, the body blew up or whatever, and then the glass-eyed guy, he was the
I already
henchman.
talked about the funeral, move on.
I know. Then he went back to the other mobster's mansion, and he decided to do a 360, which he was supposed to do a 180. And the mobster guy, he's like, "Hey, we're family." But
That's a terrible Italian impression.
yeah, mazza mia, mozzarella.
Aren't you Italian?
No. British, English, Irish, Scottish.
Okay, then do an Irish English accent.
I can't.
I very well now. I actually believe that you can do a
Okay,
very loose Irish accent, if
what
you
was
don't
the
mind me
glass
saying.
eye's name?
Just say villain.
Villain. So he had it up
He has one
to
eye, of course.
here.
He has one eye, and he's bald. Of course, he's a villain.
He wasn't totally bald. He had it up to
Balding.
here with the one mob guy. So point blank, took him out. Then here comes Danny and Jack Slater come plowing into the house in a pickup truck, and it goes through and over him and bounce, bounce on the floor. And then he was like, okay, give it up. What did he say?
This is only enactment. This is for blowing up. This is for blowing up my daughter's house.
Ouch. Didn't he sock him in the stomach?
And this is for almost killing my ex-wife.
He socked him in the stomach too. He punched him.
Mm.
So anyway, Danny unfortunately
He was a gutbuster.
loses his part of the golden ticket
He lost it
to
a
the
while
villain.
ago.
To the villain. And then so they were trying to get it back. So then the villain takes a butler and goes through the wall. So then Danny was trying to explain to Slater about the ticket,
You
and
said Slater.
Slater. And then they went through the wall. So what they were doing by going through the wall is they were coming into the real world. They were coming into New York City, where Danny lived with his mom. And Slater comes in and he's like,
Don't say Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger isn't in the movie yet.
right. Very true.
Keep going.
So they're trying to find the villain. And they thought that they saw him, but he keeps using the golden ticket to get out of the situation quickly. No pun?
I have a pun coming up.
Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see if I can
Oh,
get
okay,
to the
I've
right
got one.
spot. I want to get to the right spot.
Use the get out of jail free ticket.
Not Monopoly. So then Slater says, I really have got to sit down. So he introduces him to the theater owner.
Well, he sees the poster for Jack Slater 4.
and,
Got to be kidding
and
me.
Danny introduces him to the theater owner.
Not the owner, the projector.
I think he was the owner too, wasn't it? Sorry, folks.
Why would the
Woo.
owner be doing reels?
Because a lot of times in the old movie houses.
In 1993.
Okay. Well, as soon as he was done that night,
You thought this was
punched
made in
out,
the 80s, didn't you?
and he punches out, then the wrecking ball was going to take the theater down.
No.
Yes. But, so then they find the newspaper in one of the taxis that the villain was in, and he has an X through Schwarzenegger's name, and on the back he's got different movies circled. So then Danny says, you're right. He was going to the movies to try and find his way back.
Well, he does have the golden ticket.
So he can jump in and out of any movie, and he can have all the bad guys come and help him out. But they only have what? Death come towards the end when he got shot. How far are we going with this?
Let's go all the way.
That was a Raspberries song.
You mean Cranberries?
No, the Raspberries, wasn't
Okay.
it?
I didn't know the Raspberries were a band. Keep going.
Okay. And I know I'm skipping all over, folks, so
Yeah, you are.
please feel free to jump in and tell me where we are, because this movie was just like one big.
You also thought Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was that.
Yeah, I started to fall asleep in that movie too.
You also thought Lady Terminator.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so where was I?
But you've
So they're
never said
trying.
that. But you've never said that about the movies you've picked.
So they were trying to find where
Hmm?
he was. And what had happened was they figured out they were going to the premiere to get Schwarzenegger himself. Not Jack Slater, Schwarzenegger.
They were trying
And
to
he
kill
brought.
him. That way, they would. If there was no Schwarzenegger, there would be Jack Slater would cease to exist anymore.
So Arnold is at the premiere with Maria. And there's a bunch of other people there, like, who all was there?
Woo!
Hmm. Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
woo!
Yep. Little Richard. And
Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. Can't touch this.
yeah. And Van no, not Van Diesel. Who was the other
Oh,
action
there were two
hero?
other celebrities.
Oh, Jim Belushi.
And
And God, all I can think of is Vin Diesel, and it's not him.
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Yeah.
aka John Villain in Expendables 2.
Hmm.
According to a comedian, he says in the movie, "Don't try to challenge me."
Challenge, not challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, I guess that's okay. So anyway, Slater asks the popcorn attendant,
Where am I
"Where am I
supposed to
sitting?"
be seated?
And she goes, "Upper, no, lower balcony." So he goes towards the lower balcony, and then Danny goes towards the
Up, uh,
up balcony because Slayer was there, or
Slayer?
whatever his name was. What was it? Not Slater. No, the other guy with the axe.
Jack the Ripper?
Jack the Ripper. The villain brought him back because he actually was killed off in 3, up on the roof with a bunch of kids. So then Schwarzenegger goes down by the lower balcony and spots where he is, and then Danny yells from up there, "Jack! Help! Jack!"
And then he gets his shot.
Well, he shoots over there and misses.
Why
So,
does he miss?
because he's supposed to.
No,
He thought it was the movies.
nope.
What?
Because Schwarzenegger tramples him.
Tramples Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he was following him and saying, "Hey, you should call my office.
No,
You
he
are a
said,
really good
"You're the
impressionist."
best celebrity impersonator I've ever met."
Yep.
They can do like Walmart openings. And he says, "You've made my life a living torture."
Yep. I guess so.
Then it's time to raise the roof.
Yep. So with that one gunshot, then everybody starts running and screaming and blah, blah,
Anyway,
blah.
on the rooftop,
On the rooftop, he takes care of Jack the Ripper.
in a shocking way.
Yep. And then before that, the Ripper throws Danny over the ledge. And then Danny is hanging on to a flagpole or a light pole.
Do you
or
want to
something.
focus on the other villain?
Not yet, because they have to get back, and then he shows up.
No, I'm talking about the glass-eyed villain.
Yes, he's coming up.
He was on the roof.
Yes, after the Slayer got killed, and Slater throws Danny back up on the roof, and then Arnold comes up on the or Slater comes up on the roof, and then the glass eye villain shows up with the
I
gun.
think I think Slater threw the kid back on the roof.
Yes, I said that, didn't I?
And then the bad guy came out talking about Dracula and King Kong and
And they're all
Jack the Rip
waiting. They're
and
all waiting
Freddy
with.
Krueger and Jason Voorhees.
They're all lined up waiting to come with the magic ticket. As he would call them, then they would show up. So he starts shooting at Slater and Danny, and then all of a sudden, one chamber was closed or didn't fire anything. And the glass-eyed
You forgot
villain,
to reload.
yeah, he said, "You're not in the movies. You forgot to reload." And then the glass-eyed villain said, "Oh, I left that one empty." So then he was on the next bullet, and he was going to shoot at Arnold or at Slater. Same guy.
No, they're two different people in this movie.
I know. So then Danny gets him from behind or whatever. And then the magic ticket falls down.
Wait, can I say, I want to make another pun. Shot through the heart, and that guy's to blame. He gives love a bad name.
Yep. So Arnold gets shot. So then Danny has to get Arnold back to the movies. So they're in the ambulance rescue squad.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny says, "Turn it around, go back to the movies." And they're like, "No, blah, 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 blah." So he takes out the gun. I think it's a Magnum or something. It's awfully big. And then they stop the rescue squad. Everybody runs out. And then he's like, "Oh, God, why do they always run?" Yes, they're always supposed to run. So then Slater says, "Do you know how to drive, Danny?" And he said, "Yes, I learned from you, or I watched you."
He's like, uh-oh.
So then they get back to the movie theater, and he asks his
Wait.
friend,
Donnie the driver, can he do it? Yes, he can. Bob the Builder, keep going.
So then they have to start the movie so they can put him back into the movie.
Well,
And
to be
then
a flesh wound
Death walks in, remember?
from one of the movies.
Yeah. And he said, "Oh my God, I am tired of you guys," whatever. And he said, "Well, unfortunately, I don't have Slater on my list, but I have you, Danny." And Danny's like, "Is it my time?" And then he says, "No, you will be a grandpa." And then he tells them, he's like, "Find the other half of the ticket."
And
So
then
what does he do?
when he got the ticket, the theater came back to life.
Yep.
And it started playing. So you know what that movie was?
Houdini.
No, you know what that movie was?
Slater 4.
Nope.
What?
A screen saver.
Oh.
That was the pun.
Okay. So then they get him back into the movie, and then he's like, "Get a doctor, get a doctor," the cartoon character. And he's like, "Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? Move, move, let me see." "Oh man, this is only a flesh wound."
No, it's not even a flesh wound.
Yeah. So then he gets up, and then his boss starts yelling at him again.
And then he says, "Just shut up.
Yep.
You're the comic relief, and I'm the hero." And then he waves as he drives off into the sunset.
So folks.
And then credits.
So folks, I left a lot out. Otherwise, this would go on for hours.
Like Stallone's Terminator.
I just talk and talk and talk. So I guess if you want to see it and find out exactly what happens more than what I explained, it's up to you. If you like Arnold, I like some of Arnold's movies, but this one really was a sleeper for me. So I don't know. It's up to you, folks.
I would recommend this movie with an Uzi 9mm and an army of alien cyborg clones.
Okay, so are you gonna
You
give
know
me?
what? This was one of the top hit movies of 1993. Do you know it made almost $90 trillion? Do you know how much money that is?
No.
That's almost as much money as they earned on the opening night of his all-time Super Smash Holiday Family Classic, Jingle All the Way.
Oh boy, with Tom Hanks' wife.
Sure.
Okay, so why
Join
don't?
us next time when we're still stuck in 1993. But in the meantime, if how would I end this movie if I was Schwarzenegger? Well, there would be a bunch of alien cyborgs, and then I would bust through the door, blow them away, blow the cyborgs away with a bazooka, take the cigar out of my mouth, turn to the camera, and say, "Now that's a wrap."
Ta-da!